significant do you think this move by El Salvador is?
So I think El Salvador is important. So I think this is an example of a relatively small country, quite nimble, as many countries are in South America. And they're able to capture that a lot of their revenue in the country, a lot of the GDP is tied to remittances. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are really, really good for the transfer of funds in remittances. So I assume that already the adoption was relatively high in El Salvador. And moving into making legal tender there is kind of the next logical step. I don't think that that's been the part of the price, though, and the movement of the price, but we can come back to that later.
What do you think is driving the price then?
Yeah, I think the price, so basically we see Bitcoin, we see Ethereum. We've seen Ethereum grow a lot over the last couple of weeks. And roughly a month ago, we saw bigger platform changes to Ethereum. The network got stabilized, got better in various ways. So I think that facilitated like more trust in Ethereum as a whole. On top of that, we've seen the trend of DeFi that's been growing and growing. DeFi is decentralized finance, where you can basically run exchange services directly on the blockchain. You can run lending and other things directly on the blockchain. And that's been pumping the interest in Ethereum. And Ethereum is then dragging along a lot of the other cryptocurrencies with it.
Now, when you look at some of the numbers out of El Salvador, you've got 65% of people saying they wouldn't be open to being paid in cryptocurrency, and you got to get merchants and people to accept it. And yet we're seeing adoption in other countries. We saw there Vietnam, India, Ukraine, Pakistan. How do you expect this to shake out?
So I think that it's with everything that's new, a lot of people in the country that you would ask this question would hardly know what Bitcoin is. And they would be like, I want my dollars, I want what I'm used to, and so on. And then they will see they can download the wallet from the government. They start to use it and realize this is actually equally simple or even simpler than what they're used to. So I think that's just the normal resistance that you would see in a country. So I'm not super concerned about that.
What's next then, in your view? How, especially as we see looming regulation, we're waiting for more signals from the SEC in the US, for example, and you've got this tension between early adopters and excitement and distrust from a lot of people.
So I think one of the things that is important to know about cryptocurrencies, first of all, it's far more transparent than any other asset class that we are used to look at. So the general assumption, a perception about cryptocurrencies is that it's dark, it's anonymous, and so on. It's actually the opposite. So it's far more transparent. And I think that that's something that regulators are starting to see and understand and will utilize over time, and actually see that as a benefit, as a better medium of exchange, as a better, like, interesting investment platform. Further on, we've seen a lot of financial innovation happening on crypto. I would say financial innovation is far bigger on the crypto side of the market than in the traditional finance world. And that will also drive a lot of adoption. Of course, that will challenge and give a lot of conversations with the SECs and others. But I do see relatively positively on the future of that.
Michael, you're also a co-founder of the exchange Kraken. Jesse Powell, the CEO of Kraken, is on our show frequently. We love to ask him where he thinks Bitcoin is going. Take a listen to what he had to say most recently about just how far up the price can go.
The moon is the bear case for crypto. You know, we're going to other dimensions with Bitcoin. So I think people just need to hold on. You know, we're still early days. We're still early in the cycle. I think we could see $100,000 plus a coin late this year, early next year.
Do you think we can get past $100,000 before the end of the year, and that other dimensions are next?
I would say that for most of the cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, the more stable ones, we definitely seen a trend where they grow year over year. And sometimes they grow faster than others. Sometimes there's a bull market, sometimes there's a bear market. In the bear market, a lot of interesting things are being built, and that basically facilitates a new bull market. So yes, I think we are still in the bull market. I think that we can see above 100K by the end of the year. So I would be bullish on that as well. Long term, yeah, I would probably, usually you say moon is the limit. We can go beyond that as well. So that we can see way higher prices for those for all of those assets. I would agree.